When you're dealing with a lot of information about security events, as you would be when you were looking at the Snort IDS, what you really want is a way to see it easily. Just having a bunch of text output isn't going to be really helpful. You really want an interface where you can drill into the information if you need, and also be able to get quick overviews. There are a handful of graphical user interfaces. These are primarily web interfaces that you can interface with Snort. There was one long ago called Acid, and that was replaced by Base. Now there's also OS Sim, Placid, Squeal, Snorby, and Squirt. Now there are others as well. These are kind of the primary ones. There is another one called Prelude, which is a hybrid IDS. It's also called SIM, which is a security incident event management. I want to show you one of these GUIs so you can actually see it. So we're going to go to demo.snorby.org, which will allow us to take a look at what Snorby actually looks like. So I'm going to log in with their demo password. And this is Snorby. What we're looking at right now is the dashboard. So you can see the number of events that have happened in the last 24 hours. We could take a look at what has happened in the last month, this quarter, and this year. It doesn't look like their demo has actually attached to much of anything at the moment, so we're not seeing any events, but you can certainly take a look at the GUI, and we've got the severities, protocols, signatures, and then we've got sources here. Now, the other thing I want to show you is in my queue, we've got some events here. Let's just take a look at one of these events. So you can see the header information, the signature information that's associated with this. You could query the signature database, and apparently it doesn't know anything about that signature ID at the moment, but there have been an awful lot of activities around this particular signature, and it looks like this is a MySQL event based on the destination port because it's 3306. This is one of the events in the queue, and we can take a look at the events that have shown up here. Again, if we click on this, we can drill down into the information that's associated with it. And again, we've got a signature ID with a category here, and then we've got the source and destination IP addresses. So finally here we've got the number of sensors. It looks like there's only one sensor that's configured to this particular console. You can, of course, have multiple that will report back to the same console. Snorby is just another user interface that you can use with Snort. It is also one of those that doesn't have packages for at least some of the Linux distributions. For example, Red Hat and Ubuntu don't actually have packages for Snorby, nor do they have packages for the other user interfaces for Snort. So if you're going to run Snort on Linux and you want to be able to have consoles and something like Barnyard, then you're kind of on your own in terms of building those, which isn't a huge challenge because there are certainly plenty of pages that will walk through all of the creation and configuration of these additional packages, but it's not something that you're just going to be able to go apt-get install Snorby, for example, because the package just doesn't exist on Ubuntu. It also doesn't exist for Red Hat Enterprise Linux as part of the primary repositories.